Good afternoon. It has been a little bit since I've checked in with you guys. It is January 19th. Should have known that. Tomorrow's payday. So I have not checked in since Christmas nor New Year's, which for very good reason. I live in Ohio, and the weather in Ohio this time of year is slightly questionable on the best of days. So a couple of things have happened. I got an early Christmas present, and I am now officially recalled back to the airlines. So yay! I plan on continuing to instruct at least for a little while, mostly because they're still overstaffed. It was a government recall. It wasn't because the airlines had demand for it. Which brings us to today. I am headed down to Greene County. I have a 4 o'clock student and a 6 o'clock student, and I decided to take the twin down. It is finally back, $10,000 later in repairs. The RSM for the Aspen unit had gotten magnetized, and then the Aspen unit itself was giving some erroneous errors. So the cost of fixing the Aspen panel that was in there or upgrading to the Max panel was roughly the same, if not the exact same. So we just upgraded, and it was only down for about 3 weeks, which I was really happy with considering it was over Christmas and New Year's and I had no expectation of them working on it during that time. So it's about 2:15 in the afternoon. I'm out here a little early. I decided the weather is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, it's a very rare day in January in Ohio for the weather to be this nice. So I'd like to take it down, do a little bit of flying on the way down. The other thing they did when they installed the Aspen panel is I asked them to go ahead and install the, I think it's EA 1000 or something. It allows the Aspen panel to communicate with my analog autopilot that I have in there. I've got a Century 3 automatic, or Altimatic, I think is what it's called. So old autopilot, but now the Aspen panel and it are able to communicate. Before it was using my vacuum attitude indicator. And hopefully down the road here this year, I can just get my vacuum system pulled out now, which would be awesome. So I'm going to pre-flight and I'm going to put a couple of GoPros on the plane, and then the plan is for me, I'm going to take off, test the autopilot a little bit more. I tested it already before I even brought it home. You know, don't want to bring home a bad autopilot or bad system. And then I'd like to go ahead and shoot an approach with it again, just so I can get used to the feel of the autopilot, the way it works now. Plus, you know, it's good practice, and it is a beautiful day, so maybe I'll do a couple touch and goes. And then I'll meet with my student. My 4 o'clock student's a private student. He just hit the point where we are pounding out as many landings as we can, preparing for his first solo. And then my instrument student gets to do his first round of VOR approaches, and then on top of the VOR approaches, we're also doing some VOR holding. So it is a fun day filled with lots of excitement. So let's get started.
traffic, turn Comanche 83 to Yankees departing runway 24 with a southbound turnout, Sprinkler traffic. Sprinkler traffic, turn Comanche 83 to the Yankees departing the pattern to the southeast, Sprinkler traffic.
Should I hit the dot? Not really, but oh well. Autopilot's working great, still up to its old tricks. But anyways, I'm gonna go inside and meet with my student. Hold it, keep pulling. That was all you. I was just there to make sure we didn't hit the nose.
Greene County traffic, come Comanche 83 to Yankees, taxiing from the ramp to runway 25, Greene County. Greene County traffic, come Comanche 83 to Yankees, departing runway 25 with a eastbound departure, Greene County. Greene County traffic, come Comanche 83 to Yankees, departing the pattern to the east. Springfield traffic, Twin Comanche 83, 2 Yankees, turning final on 824, full stop, Springfield.
And just like that, we're back where we started. Getting ready to open the hangar door, bring the plane in for the night, but really good night. My 4 o'clock student did really, really well for his first round of like real landing lessons. And then my second student, which was at 6, so I just didn't have time in between. It was one student right after another. We did his first VOR approach, which went really well. So now I'm back at the airport, back at the hangar, bring the plane in for the night and head home. About an hour into my last flight, I was like, I'm hungry and I am starving at this point. So let's get the plane in and call it a night. And just like that, there is an airplane in the hangar. I highly, highly recommend, if anybody if they're ever looking for a tug, go for one of these guys by AC Air Technology. Awesome, awesome little guy. It's robotic, which means you can put the plane in the hangar and not have to be straight at the nose, which is really important for me for one of 2 reasons. A, I've got 2 planes in this hangar. B, I'm not the strongest nor the tallest person in the world, so I find it really, really, really helpful in that sense. So I'm going to get the hangar locked up here, get the GoPros off the plane, and head home and call it a night.